G'day, my name is Garth, and in this video I'm going to show you a little bit about print on demand. So, what is print on demand? So print on demand is essentially where a product is ordered, and instead of it sitting on the shelf all ready to go and it then becomes for sale. So it might be that it's a shirt, it might be screen printed, and they might have all different sizes or different designs, and they're sitting in a warehouse ready to go. An order comes along, and then that product gets sent out. So that's just normal e-commerce, normal business. But with print on demand, what happens is an order comes in to the system, and then they go, okay, we need this particular shirt and we need this particular design, so let's print them. So essentially that's printed that day or within a couple of days of the order coming in, and then sent out. So that way there's actually the only the only stock they're actually carrying is the actual blanks, and then they'll print on it. So there's really no wastage or having unnecessary product just sitting around that may not sell. They're only producing what is actually being sold. So that's print on demand. I'll give you a quick example of what happens with a t-shirt with print on demand. So there's different methods of print on demand. The main one at the moment is DTG, which is direct to garment, where you'll have a printer, much like a bubble jet, that you'll print at home. And so what it does, you put t-shirt in, and the printer will print out the design. This one's doing the first white pass, the underbase white, and then it comes back and does a colour pass. So that gives you a quick sort of example of what DTG is, and just show you that's the colour there once the colour overlay is done. So that's what the example of when you print a t-shirt, that's what happens. But there's different machines that do it, and some are low volume and some are high volume, and they're pretty expensive. Okay, so some of these POD suppliers, the first one is Teespring, and they were sort of one of the first ones that started. And essentially, it's a platform where you can sell products. This year, they've just announced a lot of new products that you can do. For example, now you can print on demand for leggings, of course, t-shirts, cups, tanks, tote bags, and the like. So there's a lot more products that they're introducing, and as you can see, lots of different designs there people are doing. So that's what Teespring does. Teespring doesn't do Shopify integration anymore. They used to, but they stopped doing that. So now if you can create a store on their site, but it will be just it'll be just a store on the Teespring site, and you would actually have to send advertising. You have to advertise to that store to get sales, and essentially Teespring is taking payment. They're doing the customer support, and they're also fulfilling the product. So it's great if you don't really want to get too involved in this type of business, but you just want to occasionally sell some stuff. That's great. You basically get paid through PayPal commissions. So very good. That's how I first started out in e-commerce with Teespring, and I learned a lot from that. So let's have a look at the next one, Printful. Printful is, I would say, one of the best places for print on demand. They do it differently. They don't have their own platform. How it works is you have your own platform. So for example, you might have a Shopify store, which is what a lot of people do, and they will link it to Printful. So that's the idea behind this. And they, for example, they've got pillows, hats, posters, frame posters, all over printing, canvas, socks, all sorts of products you can print on. And what they'll do is when your order comes in your store, you'll link it to Printful through an app that they have. And once that happens, then it will get printed and get sent out. But the client will never know that it came from Printful, and that's the biggest difference. With Teespring, they will have purchased from Teespring. The only thing from there will be your design. But here, with Printful, they'll print it and send it, and it will have your address details on it. So that's the way you would build a brand, through something like Printful. And Printful's pretty expensive, but they offer one of the best service you can get around. So that gives you an idea about Printful and what they do. Some of the other ones, Dropper, haven't used this one, but I'll just quickly show you. This is for in Europe. As you can see, they've got t-shirts, mainly for that one. Tscape, So Tscape, basically you would link, they have an app and you would link that to your Shopify store, and you can also do WooCommerce if you're into that. And essentially, same thing, when you get a sale, it will then go through the app and then go and get printed by Tscape and get sent out. It will still have your address details on it and the customer won't know that it is from Tscape. So that's another example. This one here, Sunfrog t-shirts. This is an example of you would use their whole platform to sell, and that's where people who design items, they will go to Sunfrog, they'll upload their designs and sell the shirts. So this is it's very similar to Teespring, and they've even I believe you've got your own shops in Sunfrog and they have like featured artists. So that's pretty good, but remember that you're not building a brand with that. All you're doing is, when the customer buys from Sunfrog, they think, oh wow, I'm going to go back to Sunfrog and buy some shirts from somebody else. So that's the difference between buying from a platform like this or getting the product fulfilled when the customer doesn't know where it's getting fulfilled from. That's Sunfrog. Print Aura, I haven't used it, Print Aura either, but it's basically an app that you use in the Shopify store, and they do t-shirts, mugs, hats, posters, even aprons, and they link to different things like Etsy, Shopify, WooCommerce, and they've got all the information about the products. And essentially you get the orders and they will fulfill your orders and send them out to your customers for you. So basically I just want to cover some of these are standalone, so you don't need anything else except those, and that would be like for Teespring and Sunfrog, for example, where you just need the design, you upload the design and they handle the rest. And essentially you would advertise to that store or to that product page and try and get sales. But I believe that's the old way, because with something like that you can't build your own business. You can't brand it the way you want it, and you're going to someone else's store, they're taking sales for it. Now some people might argue that this is not really true at all. I would say if you're trying to sell your business later down the track, you won't be able to sell it if you've just got a Teespring store or you've got a Sunfrog store, because essentially you're just affiliate marketing. You're just selling a product on another person's website. You're not actually collecting the payments. They're not your customers. You don't have any control. You don't have any emails. You don't have the customer details. You don't have any loyalty. And so that's why I don't think this is a good opportunity to build a brand. Different if you just want to make some money, quick money, and you've got a great idea, great. But if you want to build a long-term brand and you want to be able to sell it perhaps in the later on, then you definitely need your own platform to do that, and that's why I recommend Shopify. So Printful is an example of a POD supplier you might use and link up your store. And so basically it's something to think about with print on demand. And that is, work out whether or not you want to build up a brand, or whether you're just you want it to make some money and you don't really want to make a brand out of it. And in that case, if you would go with Teespring or Sunfrog, for example, and they've all got the pros and cons. But as I said, I recommend Shopify and setting up your own store and linking to these others. You can also link to individual people that print. There's a lot of printers out there that print on demand, and with that, for example, I've got some printers that I use, not in this list, but I get them to do local and here in Australia, and all I do is I run an app called ShipStation, and I allocate orders into the ShipStation, and then they have access to that ShipStation. So they log in, they see the orders, and they have access to a Dropbox folder with those designs, and all I do is print out those designs by looking at the orders in ShipStation, and then they mark them as sent. So that's how easily you can do it. You just have to build a relationship with a local printer to give you reseller or wholesale pricing for that. So hopefully that will help you. If you have any questions, please ask them below, and I'll be too happy to help you out. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.